What up, what up, what up? Two Baltimorons back again here on this lovely Monday afternoon here with...
Liv.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? I feel like it's been so crazy lately, like my life. I've just been all over the place.
You are wearing sweatpants in the office.
Hey, you're not supposed to tell these people,
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry, they can't see
This is
it.
one of those Zoom calls where I'm wearing a suit up here, but everything down low is like
Pajama
sweatpants.
pants.
Yeah, right. You know? You guys aren't supposed to hear that.
To be completely fair, you got off a plane, what, an hour ago?
I did. And honestly, underneath of this, I'm wearing a cutoff. So it is what it is, right? I'm prepared.
So we're seeing this is the airport outfit right now?
Yeah, it was what I had left of what I packed.
Clean clothes.
Yeah, you know, so it just is what it is. What was annoying, you know, I thought about this before I went to the airport.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what if they say take your jackets off? Now I'm just in the airport with the fucking cutoff on. And you know what happened?
That's exactly what happened.
Had to take it off.
You're just standing there like, oh, I'm not flexing.
Yeah, right. And there was a good looking girl behind me. I was like, well, let me just...
Like, you know what? It could be worse.
Yeah, right. So, and then I sent my
you.
backpack through the X-ray machine.
Yeah.
And
one of the ones where you don't have to take anything out.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I had
cool.
a wine opener in there, and it had like the little blade that cuts things, and like, of course, he takes my.
They confiscated it.
They got me.
Why'd
They
you
got
have a
me.
wine opener in your carry-on?
I don't know. I've always, I guess, had one in there since
Yeah.
I took it from my last backpack and put it in my new
Sure.
one, and then I. Pretty sure it was just the backpack I took into my bar when I used to run that from years ago. So I just always kept it in my
so
backpack.
like it's just always been in there.
Yeah, I was like, shit, dude.
Confiscated it.
Well, it's crazy. I made it through BWI to go to Florida with it, and then on the way back home.
All right, BWI security.
More things
Let's
happen.
Shout out.
More things happen to me on my way home than they do to the destination.
It's so true.
Nonetheless, things have been crazy. I've been on the go quite a bit.
Yeah.
Business is great. Our team's doing great. There's a lot of great things happening.
We're so close to making our team goal.
Oh yeah. Oh
my God, how many houses did we close this last 2 weeks? 7, 8, 10?
I mean, Mike's been killing it. Everybody's been killing
Everybody
it.
has.
No, I have a couple this week.
Yeah. Heather's got one this week.
She's got one this week.
We have a ton of listings under contract.
Yeah, didn't Donnell get one under contract?
Donnell's listing is under contract.
That's really exciting.
I know.
Good for him.
It's awesome.
It's really cool to see where we've all come from. Let's be honest.
100%.
And now, I mean, he's what, 4 months in maybe, and he's like,
he already has a listing under contract.
Yeah.
Literally amazing. And
It's
he's
really,
got another couple these waiting
in the works. Yeah. So, but how was your weekend? What
It was
you do?
great.
Anything fun?
I went to a Halloween party.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What was your outfit?
Do you know? Have you seen Legally Blonde?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Not a movie person.
There's a scene in Legally Blonde where she gets invited to a Halloween party and she dresses like they're trying to play a prank on her at Harvard. So they're like, oh, it's a costume party. And she's in a sorority. So she's like, yeah, I'm going to do a costume. And she shows up like a bunny and no one else is dressed up. So I dressed up as the bunny from that. And then also in the same movie, Jennifer Coolidge's love interest is a UPS delivery guy. So Chris was a UPS delivery guy.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we did and you know what? I was like, we walked into the bar. My friends were like, no one's going to get this. I was like, I understand no one's going to get this. Every single person got it.
Oh, I love that.
100%. The first people walked up to me like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Haters
I
are just
know
gonna
what
hate.
you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
There you go. Everyone in that bar must be like movie watchers.
They knew
because
it.
It's just not me.
They're all 30 years old.
But
What did you do? I know you went. You were in Universal.
So, yeah, we
in Disney, right?
Yeah, Friday we went to Disney. I guess Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios is where Galactic Edge is. If I'm saying that wrong,
What's Galactic Edge?
That's technically what the Star Wars land is called. It's Star Wars
Oh, yeah,
Galactic's
you're right,
Edge at Disney
right.
Parks.
I think you are right. That is what it's called. We went there, and then Saturday and Sunday we went to Universal Studios, and then Sunday to really put the cherry on top, we went to the Halloween Horror Nights.
That's so fun.
Well, it was so cool. It really felt like we were in a movie and like in a video game, walking around like in a whole
Zombieland.
Zombieland is a great thing. Like you have all the rides still kind of going, all these like neon lights on, like
That's so
smoke in
fun.
the air, and like people are running around with like some chainsaws. And
So
then
did you get to
have
go
like
on the rides like at night?
you could,
That's
but
so fun.
The lines were still kind of long, so we put a lot of time into the haunted houses.
Yeah, sure.
The haunted houses, because I mean the longest line that we were in was probably 85 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah.
45 minutes is my limit.
Really?
For rides. Oh, I'm not waiting longer than that.
So I mean, towards the end, it really got to us.
Yeah.
Like the last one we went on was when we got in line, they were like, yeah, it's 60 minutes. Maybe it was a little bit less. I think it might have been 45, and we ended up being that line for probably closer to an hour, maybe a little bit more. It was rough, and and the problem is like you have a couple drinks. You really got to pee halfway through. You can't get out of line to get pee.
You're screwed.
Then you really got to hold it together when you get in there, so you don't let a little bit out in the haunted house. You know, it's a
struggle.
It's a battle sometimes. It's mental. It's physical. It's inside you, and then you got to get it outside of you at some point.
Did you go on that the roller coaster with the music at Universal?
Oh,
I love that's one of my favorite roller coasters of all time.
It was really cool.
It's a good one. It goes like straight up in the air and then straight down.
I was really hoping they had some Grateful Dead on there or like some Goose.
I don't know, do they? I don't think they do.
So
all the music was kind of lame. I'm not even gonna lie.
You have each genre. So you have like country, you have rock, you have like hip hop. Pop.
Yeah.
All those things.
Last time I went there like a couple years ago, the music was pretty mid.
Yeah,
but they might have updated it.
The one that we put on was it's Humble by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. But each genre only had one song.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get up there.
I know.
Have an entire Spotify.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, can I like hook up my Spotify to this or like?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything like that. I haven't been to like actually
theme park.
The last time that I was at a haunted house was my friend Matt that I went to Florida with this past week, and he was up here visiting Baltimore. Me, him, and his family. We all went to one of these ones. Yeah, I think it was up at the mall. I want to say in I guess it's White Marsh.
You sure?
It was like where we went to Dave and Buster's that one team night. They set up part of the mall as like a haunted house. It was him and his girlfriend at the time, and then me, his mom, and his sister. And he goes in and just like literally leaves us fucking behind the whole time.
He's like, peace.
Yeah, literally gone, separated.
That's so funny.
And then towards the end, but he's just like sitting outside on the bench waiting for us. So, how was like?
You're like, nah.
But these are really cool. They put a lot behind the stuff in Orlando, and I've never been in anything like that to that extreme. And then you're walking around the park, and they have like little stages set up where people are like, I don't want to say like putting on acts, but they were like acting out like some horror stuff, which is really neat.
No, that's really cool.
So a lot of fun.
Parks, so
yeah,
sounds like you had a really good time.
Yeah, I would go make it like a yearly tradition. That was really cool. And then there was people in line that we heard talking that were like, they've been to like 30 of these. This was the 33rd year that they did this.
They've done it, and these people are like, yeah, we go every year.
Yeah, veterans, like a family tradition to some of those people.
That's so fun. My parents live very nearby, like 2 hours from there. So we have season passes just to like all the parks. But I've never gone for the October like scariness.
I would go back for sure.
I would too. I always happen to be in Maryland in this time of year. I'm never in Florida.
I'm not a big Halloween person.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Who
no.
is not a Halloween
I've just never been into it.
Everyone's a Halloween person.
I mean, like when I was a kid, obviously, like give me your candy, bitch. You know, like
what is your best Halloween costume that you remember from being a kid? I used to have like 8 costume changes a year. So
that is the most live thing I've ever heard. The one that stands out the most was when I was Scream.
A lot of people were Scream. A lot of boys our age.
There was a legit outfit that you could have that had like a mask and then like a little heart.
And I was gonna say with the blood.
And it come down the face.
That's exactly. You know, Chris did that for almost every Halloween.
I feel like it was iconic.
It was iconic. That's a good one.
I love that. I remember there was one time I was Buzz Lightyear, but that was when I was like real little.
That's another good one.
And then like I don't know, when I got in middle school, I think I like stopped really doing it.
Yeah, I stopped trick-or-treating in 5th grade. But then in middle school, you started having like parties with your friends where like it was just a bunch of people sitting in a basement hanging out and you called it a party.
Yeah,
but we were 12. Fully 12 years old.
How's that fruit punch down there?
Yeah, literally.
Do you have any other Halloween plans coming up?
No, I feel like Halloween. I feel like it's over for me because I already did I did the party on Saturday, and then I think we're gonna. I mean, obviously we're handing out candy on the day, but.
Oh, do you guys have a lot of trick-or-treaters?
Yeah, I live in a very suburban neighborhood where, like, you know, it's like where we're selling River Shore. It looks just like that. Okay. So it's.
You're gonna have some door knockers.
Oh yeah, we run out of candy every year.
Yeah.
We have to like, God. And I mean, I already decorated. My whole yard's decorated. I'm ready.
Wow.
I already ate all of my Halloween candy, so I had to go to the store and buy more. I was like, oh, I'm going to get it early this year. Ate it all.
That's hilarious.
Completely out.
I wonder, I don't know what my schedule's like on Halloween's what, Wednesday?
Thursday.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what it's going to be like kind of up and down here on Falls Road.
I was like, don't you think one of us should be here to hand out candy? He's like, no one's going to come.
I think
no one trick-or-treats.
There might be a few, but it would surprise me if they're doing it right on Falls Road.
Why would they not? Look.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Houses.
I don't know. We're also probably not the right people to ask. We should ask Tyler. Hey, what's the neighborhood like?
You know what? We should ask him tomorrow.
But
I'll put a bowl of candy out and say, take one. Like, even if we're not here.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Right?
Bowl's not going to be there tomorrow morning.
That's fine. I don't need the bowl. Get a plastic bowl. Don't need. That's fine.
But yeah, a lot of cool, spooky things happening.
Yeah.
I took a couple notes. There were some things. Ooh, you want to know of another like spooky thing that happened? But it ended up being really great.
I would.
We had a deal Thursday. It was supposed to close on Friday. Mm-hmm. The lender had made a mistake on the compensation, but also thinking that the compensation was the closing cost consideration that they were getting from the seller.
Yeah.
They had 2% written down that the buyer was getting to close the deal, like some 2% cash from the seller as to cover their closing costs. And that was like the whole commission thing that had changed. Mm-hmm. It was stuff that we were getting for our brokerage. And then the lender like had dug themselves into this hole, made a huge fucking mistake, and they credited my buyer $10,000. I have never seen anything like it.
That's
and we're
crazy.
on the theme of like scary things happening while you're under contract, or
that's
these crazy
scary.
stories like the snake house from last week. Like this was, I've never, and maybe people listening, maybe you experienced something like this, but I've never had a lender make a mistake as to where they're crediting $10,000.
That's
like
literally
$10,000
insane.
when buying a house. I mean, shit, you give me $5,000. I think that's significant. But 10 is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
No,
that's
like,
actually wild.
I will say it was nice to see them own up to the mistake. Mm-hmm. And honestly, like the buyer, just shitty things happen.
Yeah, no,
but also like
happen.
getting $10,000, like
she can't complain.
Am I really gonna complain?
Yeah.
You know. But it was just really, really interesting when I had seen that. I was like,
you're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm sure they weren't mad. They're like, whatever.
Well. Certainly, I think panic sets in when it initially comes on.
Yeah,
especially as the buyer, like you don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
or
you don't know what's gonna happen.
What all the documents say and the jargon and the words on them, everything like that. Especially with all the changes that we've had.
100%.
So, I mean, I tried calling the lender immediately multiple times. After probably 8 times within the hour that I'd gotten the email. Didn't answer. Did not answer.
He went AWOL. He's like, nope.
Yeah, right. But then I woke up the next morning and they had it resolved, which was really nice.
That's great. Thank God.
But yeah,
that's spooky.
Yeah, just about as scary as some of those haunted houses.
Scary things can go under. It can happen.
Is there a scary like thing that you've heard within some of our meetings? Because I know you do more of the marketing, the content. You do kind of run our Tuesday meetings for our deals, but is there one that like stands out?
Like as something like where something scary has happened?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm not sure that I've ever paid enough attention to ever know
like,
what's
right,
happening.
The next name
like you just told me about this $10,000. I'm gonna forget about this by the time this podcast is over. I don't know what happens to you guys. It would be funny though if you went into like what would be in a haunted house aimed at realtors. Like somebody putting up like no commission offered.
How
about I don't like this wallpaper.
There's that. There's like my parents are coming to the home inspection.
My parents are coming to the home inspection. I was just gonna say that. My uncle is a home inspector.
Yeah. My family does construction.
My family does construction.
What else?
Just the scariest possible thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, contingencies.
Trying to think
a property inspections notice that's like 25 pages long.
You know these things. That's hilarious because we've all seen them.
Yeah,
we've all seen them.
100%.
What's this another one that would be in there?
There are structural issues.
No. It's a good one. The buyer financed furniture before they closed on the house.
They pull up to settlement in a Mercedes.
Yeah. Open up 3 new lines of credit. Oh, man.
No, don't worry. It was 0% down, Christian.
Yeah, for 12
no
months.
No APR for 12 months. No.
No big deal. I've had that happen multiple times, and luckily all the deals have gone through. But those are like some real...
That's some nail biters.
Yeah. When you get those emails, you're like, oh, shit.
You know what the scariest thing is? I just thought of the deal that you just had recently.
Which
where he wasn't answering your phone calls. The one that kept you up at night.
That one, yeah.
I mean, I've never seen you so concerned.
Yeah, that one was not fun.
You literally lost sleep over that.
I did.
That was wild.
And that, like, the number one thing in my life, and maybe I learned it from Mike, is like, he's always said to buyers or to people like, hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, you should do. And so like, I mean, I was trying to do my job, but because there was no communication there and the seller was not answering their phone for probably 2 weeks.
You Instagram messaged him. You were so desperate.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
You're trying to help him.
Yeah, and like, that was probably... I don't say the only deal that I've lost sleep on, but it was not fun. It was
up there.
It was challenging, to say the least, and of course, it was our first ever like sub-2 deal, which we've never done. But
yeah, we're new to it.
It was just the time and place for it, right? But yeah, that was a
scary one.
Yeah, that would be the haunted houses of haunted houses for Realtor Day. Like that one's at the top,
for sure.
But let's kick off the show with this video. Ooh.
I can't be the only one who...
Oh, I think I saw this. You posted this on
Yeah, it's my own thing. It's even more embarrassing that I'm watching it.
Yeah, go look at my work of art.
This is my masterpiece.
When I saw that, I was like, holy shit.
It was the reason I made it is because John and I were just talking about it, and I mean, we literally, our job, we have to use showing time to schedule things, and we had to scroll and scroll and scroll. It was crazy. We couldn't do our job because of it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's now under contract.
Congratulations.
Total showings we had was 101 in 6 days.
Jesus.
Yeah, 101 showings in 6 days.
It reminds me, there was a house that I went into with actually my clients that got the $10,000 credit.
Yeah.
We went in a house months and months ago, and they probably had it priced 80 grand under its value.
Wow.
And we went into the open house. 5 minutes left in this open house. There were still 50 people walking through.
Oh,
and
my God.
when we were leaving the door, I was like, so, hey, man, like, how many people have you had come by this? He was like, dude, probably 250 people.
I don't know.
Through an open house.
He's
that was
just like
2
shell-shocked.
hours. Honestly, he's PTSD from that.
Yeah.
And then also, like, he went to the sellers like, hey, I really think we should price it a little bit higher, but she wanted to come in lower. But imagine now all the added work for a little bit of inappropriate pricing. I'm not saying that's the case for here, but just the situation that I was in, like seeing that many people walk through, the amount of work that you got to put in to analyze each offer to make sure you have all the details. He got 60 offers.
Easily, of course he did. Wild. Yeah, no, I dropped off some like camera equipment for Mike because he was going to film some videos there during his open house, and there was an agent there showing his clients, and he was like, "Hey, do you know how many offers?" I was like, "I have no idea, but
my God.
I promise you should write one if you're going to."
Yeah, seriously.
It's like,
wait, he asked you that?
Because I just happened to be walking through.
Oh my. Yeah, I mean, in that situation, you like what's meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah,
you got to submit in for like the best that you can, and
just do your best.
Yeah, seriously, and like
a good agent will know how to write a good offer.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to work within the buyer's comfortability, and so you have to take that into account.
100%.
There's always 2 main hurdles, and Mike talks about it. Getting a contract accepted is the first one, and then the second one is just going through inspections, right?
Yes.
So
100%.
I mean, when you have that many showings in how many days?
6 days, 101 showings.
Yeah, I mean, God bless.
Not counting I don't know how many people Mike had at his open house, but
I can only imagine.
Sure. He was like, "Can you come with me? Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to be like fending people off."
Well, another like topic that this is really going to the video and why you made it. If you want to tell everybody, why did you make it? Was it just because of that, or is it actually related to like? Were you going to do this topic of like the market slowing down?
I didn't think of this topic until I made that video because my stepdad, literally the day before like we put Barron's on the market, my stepdad was like, "I was watching Fox News and they said that the market is," he's like, "You should probably find another job because they said that there's actually not going to be any houses sold in the year 2025. There's no houses. There's so many houses on the market. Nobody can sell their house. Buyers just don't want to buy, and no one can sell their houses. They're spending years on the market now. It's really slow out there." And I was like, I don't think that's true.
So I have, I guess, 2 perspectives on this. One is from Christian Olson, the real estate agent.
Of course.
One is from Christian Olson, kind of an active buyer in the market, but
Also
slowly
very,
just
very
navigating
true.
things. When people say the market's super fast or super slow, I feel like you can't talk in these absolutes.
Yeah.
Unless you're in that like anomaly like COVID. right? Where everything is just
Where it was
burning and
crazy.
turning and going, right? It's on the market. It's immediately off.
That was a crazy
right?
time. And maybe compared to that, it is slow, but
I mean, yeah, but like for
It's
Barrington,
certainly not.
like you guys had a shit ton of, excuse my language, a lot of showings.
Yeah.
A lot of activity on that property. And it might even be just kind of like location of
and
like how the
pricing
market
things correctly.
pricing things
obviously.
correctly.
I mean, that's the biggest thing.
But like everything that is on the media is not giving you the whole story.
Right.
And like Upper Marlboro, where that property was, you guys listed, I think, for what,
$350.
$350 is an incredibly great price.
Oh,
It's in
yeah.
great condition. It's not,
it's a little outdated.
it's not incredibly modern, but in great condition.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Oh yeah, super well maintained.
So like a lot of people are in that. It's very easy to enter. Where I'm looking to buy
Mm-hmm.
in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, wherever, things are a little bit slower. One in
Sure.
Baltimore City, like the average days on market right now is probably over 30 in
That
the
is
neighborhood that I'm
crazy.
looking for.
Yeah.
Right. And that specific location, like Baltimore City, the taxes are way higher.
Yeah.
And the people who purchased in that neighborhood, I don't know if this is 100% true, but it's kind of a theory that I have, is that they're young professionals like me,
Mm-hmm.
but 4 or 5 years ago, you could really afford it because of the rates. But now where rates are at, the appreciation of the homes, that same buyer that owns the house now that wants to sell, you replace them with me, and it's like, I got to cut off my arm and my leg to really try and make that happen.
Yeah.
The barrier of entry is so much higher now.
Sure.
It's so much harder to go about, but that market is way different than Upper Marlboro. It's
than
way
PG
different
County,
than
the suburbs.
It's way different than River Shore Drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 6 people call me just from the sign alone.
Right. It wasn't even on the market yet.
Yeah, we accepted an offer like immediately.
Yeah. So fast.
So you can't take these things that you hear on the news. They are probably speaking on a national level, not
Of course.
not
Not
specific to your community.
hyper local.
Yeah, and so like very, very misleading, which is kind of unfortunate because it, I don't know, paints the wrong picture about the market.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think if you're trying to buy or have thoughts about buying in the last year, I will say now is probably the time.
You think so?
Like, yeah, and like you go into the things like you've heard like, oh, it's best time to sell in the spring or summer. Like there's so many more buyers.
Yeah,
It's just the perfect time, blah, blah, blah. And then, I've heard, hey, it's the best time for buyers to get in the winter because you can negotiate, you can do all these things. And like, yes, these things are true. Like going to the buyer one though, like in previous years, I don't think buyers have had the opportunity to negotiate as much as they do right now.
That's cool.
And not to go down like a real deep tangent on this, but there's so much going on. You have an election coming up, which a lot of it's getting wild out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like there's so much hype around it, so much media pushing this. Probably the biggest election of our lifetime, even though they probably say that every year or every election, I should say. But
they say that every election,
there-
but you know what?
there's-
It's probably true every time.
Right. This could change the future of America, can change the future of people, for people wanting to buy houses, sell houses, the retire. Like so much is on the line. And so that creates some sort of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Right. So I really think between, now and maybe February of next year, 2025,
Yeah.
we'll kind of be in this like weird position. But come March, April, May, things will probably just return back to
normal. That's always what happens.
And like, if I was a buyer and I kind of had thoughts leading up to this point, I'd be like, all right, now's really the time to lock in and find a place where I can negotiate, whether it's the price or the closing cost. Like, if I can get 2% from a seller or 3% or whatever, maybe like knock 10 grand off the price right now because things aren't moving maybe in that specific location.
Yeah, this is the time
I'd be
to
taking
make your
full
deals.
advantage. And again, I've never seen it kind of this extreme, but also now again, I kind of look at it through the lens of a buyer.
Yeah.
So it's really, really interesting to see, but you can't look at media, you can't look at these things online and take them for the absolutes that they're saying that they
Right.
are. Like the market's slow.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
The media is always gonna
Yeah.
be negative and pessimistic.
Do you think the market's going to crash?
I do not think the market is gonna crash.
Bam. Just because it's slowing down in some places doesn't mean it's just going straight to the ground. Things like I was kind of having a conversation with my chiropractor before I went on my trip.
Sure.
Wednesday.
Gotta go back after the trip, after all that walking around.
Seriously, I'm
You're
hurting.
kind of actually be like, what did you do?
Yeah, I walked 30,000 steps in 3
Easily.
days. But I was having a conversation with him, just kind of like catching up when I was in there. He's like, you selling houses? I was like, yeah, I got a couple closing this week before I go on vacation. I got some when I come back. He's like, dude, that's awesome, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, what do you think is going to happen to like home prices? Like, they got to come down. I don't think he used the word crash. He was like, dude, markets go up and down all the time, in which they do.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? But like when you throw the term crash out there,
People panic.
Yes. But also like, in what world?
Yeah.
Like it's happened before, and I understand that. But let's say I could go get River Shore Drive for $300,000. I'm not the only one who's going to want to buy that.
No, everybody's going to.
And if you lower some of those properties in Baltimore that I'm looking at, they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
You know? And so like, even if there was some like theoretical crash that ever came, there's not really enough homes to support that.
Right.
You know, like, I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably doing a shit job explaining it, but like, I don't think there's any sort of like supporting evidence that there is a crash coming. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, or people listening send stuff in, and I'd be more than happy to review it or take a look.
Improve our algorithm. Comment how wrong we are.
Yeah, but seriously,
comment on this video.
Like, imagine if home prices do come down, and now you can get this $400,000 house for $300,000 or $270,000, whatever the number is. I'm not going to be the only one shopping for that home.
No,
Liv's going to get in the
everyone's gonna wanna
market.
do it.
John's going to get in the market. Everyone and their mother is going to return to the market to buy a house.
Yeah.
So what good is it going to do? That same home is still going to sell for its actual value because so many more people are in the market.
Right.
It's just
exactly.
Well, you look at like.
That's a great way to explain it.
I mean, I look at this as like economics 101. You know, like the new iPhone comes out. It's high demand. People will pay thousands of dollars for it. Shit, they wait in line overnight for it.
Do people still wait in line for iPhones?
I don't know.
I don't think anyone does that anymore.
You're right. I don't think they wait in line.
They used to. No, 100% they used to.
Well, yes.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
They used to. I don't know if they do it anymore. Probably
think that's a
because
thing.
what they try to do is get a lot of those phones into the hands of creators or people that are going to review them. But
Yeah.
I would feel like they get them even before the release. I feel like you put in your order and you probably just get it.
You just get a phone.
So,
Phones are so
but again,
different
like when the
now.
new one comes out, I mean, I'm still rocking my iPhone 11 Max or whatever. It has three.
Literally, I need the new phone in the worst way, and
Yeah.
I'm just so lazy. It's just such a fucking hassle.
It is. I don't care. This thing's
don't
I'm
care.
gonna run this thing in the ground like it's a
100%.
Honda Civic with 300,000
With
miles.
300,000 miles.
Yeah. Seriously, this thing's been going strong still, but it's on its last days. The battery. I looked up the battery life, and like, it's like, yeah, you needed to get this serviced back in
like-
Nam, dude. What are you doing?
You are so screwed. You ever pick up someone's phone and it's like the letters are so slow when you're typing? Like, how do you live with this every day?
Oh, mine freezes, and then it just like changes
yeah, then
to
all
a
the
new
letters
frame.
go,
Everything's there
God,
now.
I hate when that happens. So
Yeah.
you need a new phone. You should
Yeah.
have waited in line for the new iPhone.
Yeah, just budgeting priorities.
House number 1.
Yeah, house
Financing a phone number 2.
Yeah.
Tesla number 3.
Tesla number 3. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have that paid off hopefully here soon, and it'll
Hey,
open
that's
some things
great.
up. Yeah.
Look at
yeah.
you go.
But seriously, folks, like, just because things are slowing down doesn't mean there's a crash.
Yeah.
This
is what makes our podcast so boring. Like, we should just say that it's gonna crash. We should like be like crazy.
Stir the pot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's-
because the sad, horrible truth is that like
The elites are gonna buy all your houses. It's gonna crash. Your retirement is going down. That's
the only clip I'm gonna use.
The welcome Christian is the new Alec Jones. You know,
Is what we would say if we were lying and crazy. See, now we're gonna get clicks. Now we're good to go. But you know what I mean? Because the truth is, like you said, like even if things are a little like tumultuous, like
never
during
even heard that
election
word.
season, tumultuous.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
If things are a little shaky during election
Yeah.
season for a couple months, just like you said, everything will return to normal, barring some horrible apocalyptic. I mean, we had a literal pandemic, like an apocalyptic event, and everything is completely normal now.
Yeah.
Like thousands and millions of people died, and we're
Yeah.
just living like it's normal. So
Very
no matter
fair
what,
point.
society will not collapse. There's too much going on.
I also look at
it
these
will
things.
be okay.
I look at these things. I'm like, what's the worst that could happen?
What's
like,
the worst
You're
that
still gonna
could
be alive.
happen? Yes.
You're still gonna do your job.
You still have to go to
gonna
work
have
in the
your
morning,
family.
so who cares?
You're still gonna go to work in the morning. You still have your responsibilities.
Yes.
You still gonna have your free time.
No matter what happens,
So, like,
you just have to live your own life and just not worry about it because there's really nothing you individually can do.
There's actually a really good book. I think Tony Robbins came out with it. I haven't finished, the entire book. I'm looking it up real quick. Tony Robbins' new book. I think it's called The Holy Grail of Investing.
I feel like you've shared this in our group chat.
Maybe.
Or maybe Mike shared it. Or talked about
Maybe. It's called. Is that it? Maybe it's called Unshakable: Your Financial Freedom Playbook, or maybe that's the
partner.
partner.
Heard of that one too.
Holy Grail of Investing. Yeah, your financial freedom, whatever. But he talks about like you put this money in, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, whether it's stock market, buying houses, or this, that, and the other. But at the end of the 30 years, everything's averaging out to some sort of percent as to where you're walking away with 10, 20, 30, 40% more. Could be your retirement fund, right? Like you put in $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year, you let that compound, and then over those years, your retirement, you have $1 million, $2 million, whatever it may be, but you're going to have those years where it's up and down. Shit, I remember one of the first times that me and Maggie sat down in our office at Berkshire years ago, she was always looking up her...
her stocks.
Yeah,
she was great at those.
I don't know if it was like E-Trade.
It was like E-Trade,
Fidelity, something like that.
Yeah.
Someday she'd come in like, man, my stocks they're not doing great. And someday she'd be like, ooh,
she's on top of the world.
Yeah, right. So you're gonna have those days, just like you have good and bad days in your life. 100%. So you have to just keep doing your thing. Everything's gonna work out, but also like have a good mentality about it too.
Exactly. Just live your life, and everything will be fine and work out for you.
Certainly.
Just don't worry about it.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions or want to send anything into the podcast about a market crash, about where you think things are going, I'd love to bring them up and get other people's opinion on them. If you have any cool stories about some spooky things you've seen walking in homes or, your real estate transaction, send them in. We'd love to hear them.
We would obviously.
We'd share them on the podcast. So anything before we wrap up here, Liv?
I think that's all.
This was fun.
This was super fun.
Thanks for hopping on.
Of course.
How can they find us in the team?
Our Instagram is Michael Frank ______. Mike doesn't put enough underscores. There's another Michael Frank. He has 3 underscores. We have 4.
Really?
Do not do the other one.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yes, I learned this recently.
This is new information. New information.
This is breaking news.
And you can find me on Instagram at Christian the Deadhead, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.